I've been asked, what is the main thing you've learned about your wife in marriage? And I love this question. And also, I've really puzzled over it. It's a very hard question to answer, perhaps for obvious reasons, because I've learned so much. And I'm noting there's a number of different ways one could go with this, that I could go with this. This is what's kind of in my heart. I don't want this to sound cynical, but I feel like in answer to this question, I want to say I've learned expect the unexpected or never assume. Why do I feel okay sharing this with you? Because it's not a cynical answer. It's coming from a profound reality of my experience, namely that I think others will relate to this. A big part of marriage has been, wow, we are so different. Our backgrounds, our needs, our desires, even to some extent our dreams are so different, even while are having so much in common. This has just been such a big part of relating in marriage. And it's striking that we can make a distinction between two different kinds of differences. One kind of difference is clearly simply that we're just different individuals with different backgrounds. Any two individual human beings are going to have quite a number of differences. But then layer in with that she's a woman and I'm a man. And thus, ipso facto, there will be big differences between us. So we know this is two different kinds of differences, but part of the whole amazing mix is it's hard to tell the difference. Sometimes you don't know which it is. Right? I can totally see that she, at any given moment, might look at me when I'm being kind of weird and say, are you doing that because you're a man? Or are you just having a bad day? Or just struggling with your personal issues? Reasonable question. And there might not be any obvious answer to that. So it's hard to sort through. Part of our discovering the difference between man and woman is working through this kind of conglomerate of differences between us. One big thing then that I know I need to challenge myself with here is I have the opportunity every day to make a choice of how I approach these differences. Am I willing to choose for sure when I discover a difference, always to begin by respecting it? And while it might be very difficult, might be hurtful and painful, not to be angered by it, am I willing to choose to respect it? And then also perhaps learn to rejoice in it. Because certain of these differences should be there and should remain. Whereas at the same time, some of the differences between us are probably because we're immature and we need to grow. And the more that we grow together and help one another grow, some of those differences are going to drop away. And you can't necessarily tell immediately beforehand which it is. So I suppose in the end, this is just part of the adventure. This amazing adventure where we're called upon to have to face this. Sometimes it's one of those things where, well, if it doesn't break you, it's going to make you. If it doesn't kill you, it'll make you be much stronger and healthier. Well, I think there's something to that. But I need to remember, I wouldn't trade it for anything. The differences so often are such a profound enrichment. My life is so much more full because of these things that I've discovered and I need to learn to treasure in my wife. I can't begin right now, so I won't, to enumerate them. But this I have learned. She's very different, and for a number of reasons, that's a gift. In our working through it, and our discovering just how much we have to offer one another.